Alright, so if I cut this into 2 videos, which I probably didn't because I'm lazy, welcome back. And if I didn't cut it in 2 videos, thank you for sticking around. We're going to go dig into the most of the last half. I kind of opened one early, but that's okay. Last half of our packs. We're getting close to getting our deck finished, which is good. There's something I needed. Okay, perfect. So we saw that. We saw that. Fierce Witchstalker now. 4 mana, 4/4 with Trample. Taste green cards, especially in limited. Trample. I love Trample. Trample's good. It means they can't just throw their 1/1 white weenies in front of it. They have to think about it, and they have to do math. When Fierce Witchstalker enters the battlefield, create a food token. Gain 3. So food tokens, okay. We've seen there's a theme. There's obviously some value in food tokens, even if it's a little convoluted. There's more to the deck. We'll get to them. But yeah, I like this card. 4 of, boom, in the deck. So 1 down. Now, I have a lot of, it's a common. I have a lot of commons, so I'm not worried about getting too many Fierce in the packs, but I'll take them, because that's cards I don't have to spend. I'm pretty sure this is going to end up being a 4 of in the deck. Maybe. We'll see. Jousting Dummy. 2 mana, 2/1. So it's kind of... 3 mana, it's, yeah, not a good card. Put it in limited if you need artifacts, if you need knights, because it is a knight, but I don't see it being much of anything. Giant, yeah, we saw that. Oakham Adversary. 4 mana, 2/3 is not great at all. This spell costs 2 less to cast if an opponent controls a green permanent, so against the mirror or another green deck, sure. 1 mana, 2/3 is good, but that's pretty limited. This may be a sideboard thing. It does have Death Touch, so it gives us some removal in green, which you sorely need. And when it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. So there's a lot going on here. I can see this card seeing play just because there is instances where there's value. Keeping in mind, land doesn't count, so if they're playing green land, it doesn't matter. Forest on turn 1 does not allow you to cast this on your next turn. They have to play a green permanent. But 2/3 with Death Touch is good in green. Yeah, I can see that. I'll see this seeing play. I don't know where it'll fit. It's definitely not fitting in my deck anywhere. It's just neither a wolf nor a buff to wolves. And I got enough removal. Covetous Urge we saw. Stealing the Crown. Yes! That's 3 of those. That's another wild card we don't need to spend on land. Awesome. I'm getting close. As I get closer to building my deck, I'm excited. I know it's not going to be tier 1. I get it. It's going to be fun, because I already know it's fun, and it's just going to get better and more fun. Like, I might even just record that deck right after this and have another video. But this is just going to be the deck opening. I'm not going to play, so don't worry. It's not going to be 3 hours long. Yep, we saw that. We saw that. Witching Well. 1 mana, 1 blue artifact. Witching Well enters the battlefield, scry 2. So, 1 mana scry is good. It's not opt, which is scry 1, draw a card at instant speed. But scry 2 is not bad. So, what else does it do? If it just scries, it's not good. 4 mana, sacrifice Witching Well, draw a card. So late game, you can scry 2 and get a card, draw 2 cards. So this is good late game. It's 5 mana to scry 2, then draw 2. That's not terrible. I don't know. It'll be limited. In blue decks, again, this is, again, a playstyle I don't play a lot. I think it's good. I'd put it in and try it and see how it feels, is where I'm at with this. Because, again, this is a outside my comfort zone deck style. But I think it's good. Because scrying is good. 1 mana scry is okay. It's better at instant speed. But being able to late game scry and then draw, or later in the game draw 2 cards for 4 mana is not bad. I think draw 2 is usually a 3 mana cost. I don't know. If you have another one and you play it and then, yeah. Lash of Thorns, I think we saw. Yes. I did see this came up during something. I played against it, I believe. Or I saw it somewhere. I saw this somewhere. Definitely something to think about in my red-blue deck. Indomitable Alliance. 2 mana, blue and a red. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature with flying. And for 6 mana, draw a card and then discard a card. Awesome. It fits right in, because we want to be drawing cards. 4 mana, 6 is a little steep. That's late game. If I get that far, great. But otherwise, I'm going to be, unless Narset's out, going to be drawing multiple cards a turn. That's kind of the theme of the deck. So I'm going to be creating these 1/1 flyers. And as we saw, there's other cards that do things with these, or create fairies. So that's just, I'm going to be drawing cards. I might as well get fairies. Now, as a 2-drop and 6 game late, yeah, if I get that far, we're in trouble and we're digging. So that drawing a card for 6 may be of value if we get that far. Do we get this one? Bog Knot. 3 mana for 5 mana, 3 black black for a 3/3 flying. Sacrifice a food token. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. Okay. I wasn't sold until that. But again, at 3 mana, there's some spells that do that. At 5, this is pretty slow at 5 to put it out in the first place. I could see it fitting. I don't know where. Ooh. I just saw this. Stonecoil Serpent. And that. An X. Okay, X casting cost. X colorless. Artifact creature snake. Reach and trample. I like that. Protection from multicolored. That's interesting. You don't see a lot of that. So that means anything with at least 2 colors can't do anything to it. And there is a lot of multicolored. That includes hybrid mana. Cost, casting cost, or... Yeah. It also includes things that have a different colored activated ability. Lots of things. Stonecoil Serpent enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. So it can be as big as you need. It's a 3 mana 3/3 reach trample on turn 3. This is an awesome card. It's excellent. I like it. Reach, trample. You put this in your green deck. Cast it for as much mana as you can. Especially in like a ramp deck. Get it as like a 5/5. It's protection from multicolored, so that stops some of the removal, not all of it. And it's counters. Not that that matters, but I like it. I like it a lot. I really do. I'm actually excited to see that played. For a split second, I thought Wormcoil. What was it? Wormcoil Engine. But it wasn't. It's a very, not the same art, but it was like, oh, this could be something like that. But no. Reach and Trample, this works. I don't know if you can tell, I like that card. But it's probably not... Well, I can see like control decks using it as a finisher with Reach and Trample. There's probably better cards for them, but it could be something there. Again, talking outside my comfort zone, so... Mara Leaf Raider. Did we see this? Elf Knight 2 for 3/1. Yeah. Sacrifice a food target creature blocks if able. Yeah, that's that taunting knight. Again, we're buffing the knight. This is a removal that green could use, but there's other options. Especially if we're doing knights, we're probably going to do black or red or white as well. So we have some other options for removal. So this probably won't see constructed play, but 2 mana 3/1. Eye Collector we saw. Did we see this one? Yes. It looks like a knight, but he's not. I wish it was a knight because I'd play it. Because it's a knight riding a fox. And that's awesome. Giant fox. That gives me D&D ideas, to be honest. What's this? Wandermare. Wandermare. Okay, it looks like a knight's charger. That's got no knight. So it's 3 mana, 1 green, white. Whenever you cast a creature spell that has an adventure, put a +1/+1 on Wandermare. 3/3. So 3 mana, 3/3 that gets +1/+1 counters. This goes into white weenie deck. White, green, Celestia tokens. You have to cast the creature spell though, so tokens don't buff it, but that's okay. I like this. Because 3/3 on turn 3 is okay. That's a good card. It's an okay card, definitely in limited. But even in constructed, a 3 mana 3/3 is okay. But in a deck that's going to be casting creatures after creature after creature, it just gets better. Now it does die to removal. It gets, you know, red decks eat them for lunch if they need to, but I like it. Here's one, Resolute Warrior. Hybrid mana, white and black. Orzhov, thank you. 4 mana for a 4/2 knight. That's pretty black, 4/2 for 4. I mean, that's getting sketchy. For 2 hybrid Orzhov, gets Resolute Rider, gains lifelink till end of turn. And for 3 Orzhov, Resolute Rider gains Indestructible till end of turn. And that's good. And it's a knight deck, so it's going to get buffs. It's going to benefit from other knights. It's going to get those when this attack, all other attacking knights get this. So I like this. This goes into pretty much any of the, because it's black or white, or black and white, so it goes into anything that's going to play knights pretty much. I like this card. This reminds me of something. It might just be because it's hybrid. It was a red-white deck. Way, way, way back. Anyway, can't remember now. It's on the tip of my tongue. Yes!
That's my kind of music.
That's 2. And I think we need 3. So we're almost there. We can afford it. Garruk the Cursed Huntsman. 6 mana planeswalker. 4 black-green. Legendary planeswalker Garruk enters with 5 loyalty. 4/0. Create 2/2 black and green wolf creature tokens. When this creature dies, put a loyalty counter on each Garruk you control. That's the only thing we need. It's the only thing we need. So in our wolf deck, we create the wolf. It can fight because of Tulsimir. If it dies in that fight, Garruk gets a +1/+1 token. And then the second wolf comes out, we can do the same thing. We can grow him very fast. However, for -3, we can also destroy target creature and draw a card. So flash, put him out, bam, removal. He's a little at risk, but usually we have wolves on the table, so it shouldn't be too bad. But again, if we need to, by the time we get there, we could be at 6 or 7 mana too. And then for 6, you get an emblem with creatures you control gain +3/+3 and have trample. This guy, he's simple. There's no, as Merchant said in his video, to paraphrase, he is a blunt instrument. There's no nuance here. He does what he does. You just click the button you need. It's that simple. Do I need wolves? Yes. Boom, we have wolves. Do you want to destroy a creature? We can do that. Yeah, love this. I'm excited. That excited me. 2 of those. One more and I don't have to use any mythics on him. What are the chances in 21 packs? I know there's math. There's no way I'm doing math with my brain the way it is right now. Oh, here's a few cards we haven't seen yet. I excite. Here's another adventure. Merchant of the Veil. 3 mana, 2/3. 3/2 would be more red, but okay, 2/3. Maybe more controlly long-term playing style here. With the ability, play 3 mana, discard a card, draw a card. So, card draw, this could probably see more so in my red-blue deck than anything else. Later game when I need to really get some cards and get some value in my hand. And then for 1 red, so before you can cast them, in the meantime, you can haggle for 1 red. You may discard a card if you do draw a card. Okay, excellent. I mean, not excellent. It probably won't make the cut, but I can see it being considered in certain red-blue decks. Another adventure card, Rimrock Knight. It's a dwarf. Already tickles the funny bone. I love dwarves. I'm not playing a Cavalier in DVD. I'm playing a dwarf. 1 in a red for a 3/1 who can't block. Okay, that's very red. That's as red as it gets. That's a limited red card. For 1 red mana, we get Boulder Rush, Instant Adventure. Target creature gains +2/+1 on turn. Sweet. As long as it doesn't get counters, you give your early creature, like your turn 1 creature. Yeah. There's some utility. Definitely limited. Probably not going to see much in the way of constructed because there's better things to do on turn 2. 1 and 2, in fact. Although, when you start getting 3 or 4 mana and you have that extra 1 or 2 to spare, this could be okay late game when you got to get that last few bits of damage in. So maybe I'm wrong and it will see a play, but I doubt it in constructed for the most part. Did we see this? Yes. Thrill of Possibility. Instant red spell for 1 in a red. As an additional cost to spell, draw a card, discard a card, draw 2 cards. I've already thought that's already envisioned in my red-blue spells matter, draw all the cards deck. This is kind of replacing what's rotated out. Blue card or red card, Tormenting Voice. Yeah. Fairy Guide Mother we saw. Skull Knocker Ogre. He is ugly. He looks like a cave troll from Lord of the Rings. 4 mana, 4/3. It's red. That's pretty common. Whenever Skullknocker Ogre deals damage to opponent, that player discards a card at random. If the player does, they draw a card. I was happy with it until they draw a card. It would have been good without that. I mean, it's a 4/3 for 4. In a red aggressive deck, maybe it sees something. They might let it through to take the damage so they can draw a card as well. But I don't know. That one's going to take some thinking. Oh my god. Okay, full play set. So apparently, MTGA wants me to play a Magic Mirror deck. So I'll have to think about it. If you guys, yeah, way outside my comfort zone too. So this is going to be interesting. But apparently it really wants me to play this Magic Mirror deck that has no maximum hand size and probably plays that Knight Lady, the Ice Knight. Or the Ice Queen, Elsa. Wow, really wants me to play that. Okay, there's... Oh, good. We're going to get our lands. Lonesome Unicorn we saw. Forbidding Fruit we saw. Ardenvale Tactician we saw. Tome Raider. Prized Griffin. Did we see Fireborn? No. 4 mana, 2/3 with double strike. Okay. In a white base or red base, red deck, or a Knight's deck. This is going to be interesting. Double strike means first strike for the first 2, so it kills small creatures, but it also does 4 damage if it doesn't kill the thing first. And for 4 mana, Fireborn Knight gets +1/+1 till end of turn. Late game aggro Knights. It feels like they're trying to... Aggro still a thing, but they're trying to make it so it's more beneficial longer term. That'd be a hard one. Although in like straight up Boros Knights or even Boros aggro, because also keep in mind we got knights that give +1 attack when it attacks with other knights. So the only different thing here is 4 mana over 3 toughness means it's not going to stick around that long. Interesting. I like it. Definitely limited. I would put this in a heartbeat in a knights-based deck. There's another uncommon. There's another Hushbringer, which we've seen. Moving on. Did we see Hushbringer? I hope we did, because I just blew right past it. There's another Gingerbread Cabin. I mean, even though it's just food token, that's 3 life plus utility. Return to nature. Yep, that's that. Naturalize. All of a sudden, I get the word. The return to nature, naturalize. Fell the Pheasant. Outmuscle. Hypnotic Sprite. 2 blue for a 2/1 flying. Did we see this? Oh. 3 mana counter target spell with converted mana cost 3 or less. Okay. Yeah. Sit on a counter spell. If you end up not needing it, throw it as a creature. Sure. Or both. Yeah. Okay. I could see this seeing some play. It's a 3 mana counter. Early game counter spell. Sure. Good against aggro because it doesn't say non-creature. Just target spell so it can counter anything. Yep. That'll see play. Probably see play in my blue-red deck because spells matter. Opportunistic Dragon. I saw this one. 4 mana, 2 and red. 4/3 flyer. Again, it's a red card. It's aggressive. When Opportunistic Dragon enters the battlefield, choose target human or artifact an opponent controls. For as long as Opportunistic Dragon remains on the battlefield, gain control of that permanent. It loses all abilities. It can't attack or block. So I don't know exactly why it's not exiled. Although what that means is if it's something with tokens on it, the tokens will stay on. Whereas when it's exiled, they won't unless it comes into play with tokens. It also doesn't trigger enter the battlefield effects when your opponent gets it back. So I guess there is some give or take there. It is fairly limited, human or artifact, right? However, 4 mana 4/3 flyers are good. We've got other 4 mana 4/3 flyers that are used. However, those 4 mana 4/3 flyers in red have other effects that make them, I think, better. Because I don't think I would play this. I'd play it in the sideboard maybe, but I wouldn't play it over. Well, Rekindling Phoenix isn't 4/3. Or no, Rekindling Phoenix is the one. Yeah, I wouldn't play it over Rekindling Phoenix if that's still a thing. What set was Rekindling Phoenix in? Anyway, definitely wouldn't play it over that. Probably wouldn't play it over Arclight Phoenix either, even though that's a 3/2. But yeah, it's an interesting card. It's a little limited. I'd put it in the sideboard maybe against artifact decks or like white weenie decks that have maybe a lot of human knights and stuff. So I could see that. And if they become really rampant, main decking it in some red mid-range deck or big red, sure. 4 mana 4/3 flyer is pretty good, but I don't know if I'd use it over Rekindling Phoenix in most cases. Because you get that recursion most of the time. Although against white, they can just exile the egg or whatever. But then they've used they've used things to get that off the table, so. Yep. Seen all those. Haven't seen this. Ebereth Shieldbreaker. Human Knight. 1 in a red for a 2/1 Knight. Okay, pretty vanilla, pretty meh. Battle Display. 1 red, destroy target artifact. So sideboard card against artifact decks because you can use Battle Display and then later if you need to you have a 2/1 creature. But you're putting it in for Battle Display more than anything. Yeah, sideboard card, I would say. And a mythic rare card. That was probably another stupid mirror. No, because... Oh, the mirrors. Can I open this deck, please? The people are watching. Okay, there's another uncommon. Yeah, this is doing good for us. We're going to have some cards to play with. Eye Collector, Fling, Borrow Witches. Did we see this? Yes. Lockwayne Paladin we saw, Brooms we saw. We've seen a lot of the cards now. Okay. Return of the Wild Seeker, 5 mana, 4 and a green, instant, choose 1. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control. In our Wolf's deck, I mean, it's not going to go in, but it could. Maybe as a tweak later. I'm going to play it as Merchant had it first just to see how it feels. It looked pretty fun. Oh, wait, and the second thing. Non-human creatures are going to gain +3/+0 until end of turn. Okay. Yeah. That's at 5 mana, it's a little costly. In a deck with a lot of tokens and a lot of creatures, you could draw a lot of cards. And +3 on them all. Like, if it had Trample, on that second one, if it added Trample, I'd be in. There are no questions. But without Trample or some form of evasion, that's just a bunch of bigger creatures. I don't know. Especially with white weenie being a big thing. Like, a lot of people play that. You see it a lot in other aggro decks. Yeah, I don't know. 5 cost is pretty steep on that, but it gives you some flexibility. Ooh, Tournament Grounds, we haven't seen that yet. But we're not there. We've seen that. We've seen that. 11th Noble, Garenberg Squire we've seen. Fling we've definitely seen. Vantris? What's a Vantris? That must be a place. Vantris Paladin. I like it. He's riding a wolf. Griffin. It's a griffin. A wolf. I meant to say owl, first off. Wolves on the mind. I meant to say owl. But it is a griffin, but it's an owl face. Yeah. Yeah. Instead of an eagle face? Sure. I don't know why I'm hung up on that. It's a 4 mana, 2/2 flying human knight with adamant. If at least 3 blue mana was spent, it comes in with a +1. So it can be a 4 mana, 3/3 flying. Definitely good in limited knight decks. I haven't seen a lot of reason to be in blue if you're playing knights, but you could splash it. Maybe if you get some good duels, you get this. Well, no, this one doesn't work. Never mind. Obviously, that's the colors they want you to play knights in. Indomitable. That's the other one I was talking about with the fairies. Tournament Grounds. So it's a colorless land. Boom. But you can add white, red, white, or black to spend this only to cast knights or equipment. So obviously that's your knight colors. If you're going to play knights deck, you want these. Because you're going to be casting knights, maybe even using equipment. There's lots of equipment that benefits knights that either equips cheaply to a knight or equips automatically to a knight if you have one in play, that sort of thing. So definitely a good card if you're going to play knights. I think yep, I want to build a knights deck. Did you see this? No. This is that Iron Crag again. Iron Crag Feet. So definitely probably a place. Iron Crag Feet. 1, red, red, red. So mono red most likely, more than anything. Oh, this is like... What was it called? Not Ritual. Not Dark Ritual. The red one. Where it's 1 mana and you had 3. Anyway. For 4 mana, you can add 7 red mana. You can cast only 1 more spell this turn. So you can use this to, like, turn for a big spell. Interesting. I can see this being something. I don't know what spell you'd want to use that on. What's the big red spell right now? Escaping me. You could use it as Explosion? Doable? Huh. Anyway, you could do a big turn 4 spell with this. It gives you basically 3 mana on turn 4 to use once. It's essentially that ritual. I can't remember what it's called now. I know Dark Ritual's the black one, and there's a red one. Anyways, cool. That might see something. I'll take a look at that when I'm ready to start looking at red again. I'm not looking at my red-blue deck. I think I might do a Knights deck now. I'm getting excited for Knights, but my Wolves are still priority 1. Yeah, we saw this. That's the 3/2 creature Planeswalker and exile it. We saw that. Beloved Princess. Yeah, 1/1 lifelink we saw. Ritual Flame, which is the +1 on each creature. They gain Vigilance if you have Adamant. Golden Egg, Hypnotic Sprite. Yep, saw all those. Ooh. Realm Cloaked Giant, 7 mana, 5 white for a 7/7 vigilance. Oh, that's cool. Like, Realm Cloaked, he's literally wearing the realm as a cloak. That's awesome. I would not want to live anywhere in here. That would be terrifying. My house is lighting off. I like the tree. I like this. All right, that's cool. That's a cool concept. Very impractical. Here it is. This is actually the one I was talking about. So for 5 mana, destroy all non-giant creatures. So at turn 5, you destroy everything that's not giants. You're playing your giants, and they're awesome, and you're playing that enchantment that makes them a giant, or that equipment that makes them a giant, or whatever it was. And then you play this, destroy all non-giants, and swing for 1,000 damage. And then 2 turns later, you can cast this and have another giant. Giants. Sub-theme. Not quite enough. I don't know what we have for giants from the other sets. I never really paid attention. So if there's some other really good giants around... There's another Witch Stalker, which may make our deck. Although I don't think it does. Because I think what we're looking for is the other there's a rare wolf that we're not a werewolf, a rare R-A-R-E wolf that we're looking for. Although I would like some werewolves, but I haven't seen any in this set. Maybe we'll see some in the future. Sets coming. I imagine we will actually, because aren't we going? I can't remember. God damn it! It's at the tip of my tongue. Hate being sick. Moving on. Yep, seen all these. Sage of the Falls, Merfolk. Oh, what the? He is really fishy. Okay, now I see him. For a second, I couldn't make out where his face was. He looked really weird, but there he is. 5 mana, 4 and a blue, 2/5. Okay. That's a very blue card. High for controls. For Mofurk Wizard, when Sage of the Falls or another non-human creature enters the battlefield under control, you can draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Okay, that's pretty late game. And the decks that want it won't be casting a lot of creatures, I imagine. So probably not a great card. There might be something I'm missing. Maybe a wizard aggro deck again. Although with 36 of my 36, 36 of my 36 non-land cards. Well, I guess that was probably more like 38, but 36 of my 36 non-land cards rotating. My wizards deck is probably dead. Fabled Passage. I don't think we've seen this. Okay, rare land. Oh, yes. Yep. I don't know why we wouldn't want this. Sacrifice Fabled Passage, search your library for a basic land card, put it in the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Then, if you control 4 or more lands, untap that land. So, back in Zendikar, I had a landfall deck. Oh, that was so much fun. You know, Lotus Cobras and the Arbiter Angels, or no, Angel of Obsolation, or whatever they were. All the landfall stuff. Green-white landfall deck was playing. I would have killed for this card in that deck. Just saying. That deck played all the three of the four possible fetch lands, or no, two. Yeah, I played 8 fetch lands, the pain lands, and all 8, I think, of the common this without the untap clause. Terramorphic Expanse in the other one. Just, it was all about as many landfalls per turn as you could get, because you also used, I think it was Lotus Cobra, that every time a land entered, you got a mana of any color, so you just rifle through your deck putting land out. It was nuts when it actually worked. It wasn't winning tournaments. Probably could have used some tweaking. And then I sold the Lotus Cobras or traded them away. But yeah, long story short, cool. Some good mana fixing. This is great. Not necessarily for aggro decks because it comes into your land comes into play tapped, but for control decks, 3-color control-y mid-range decks, perfect for those in immediately because you can go fetch. What did it say? Basic land? Crap. I can't remember if the... Anyway, it doesn't matter. You can go fetch the land you need. That's the point. Do it. Youthful Knight, Weapon Raxi again. Definitely interesting night theme here. Justin Demi. Ooh, I don't think we've seen this. This is the black artifact equipment. 1 and a black for Giant's Skewer. Equipped creature gets +2/+1. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a creature, create a food token. Awesome, I love it. Again, food and flavor. They did so well. They nailed it with the food thing. I don't know if the food's useful, but the flavor of it in the game, the way it all flows. Like, this is a 2/1. You equip it onto a creature, you're going to do that. Incidentally, you also create food tokens. Like, even if you don't worry about food, you just build them up and use them for life gain later. And then equip 3. So it's a little hefty. It's a 3 mana, but it's permanent. And it doesn't... At least you don't get 2 for 1. If you go to equip it and they blow out the creature, you just lost 3 mana. And a creature, but it's not... I like it. Knights and equipment, I think I'm going to build a deck. There's something there. Frogify. I love cards like this. Actually, this made... Let's see. 2, 1 and a blue. Enchanted creature. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a blue frog creature with a base power and toughness 1. It loses all other card and creature types. Interesting, yeah. So this will be good, like, against knight decks. I'll take out your big knight. He's now a frog. Step on it. Yeah, anything that just boosts. Yeah, blue. It's a very blue card. It'll see play. It'll see play. Did we see this? Ferocity of the Wilds. We have not. Enchantment in red. 3 in a red. Attacking non-human creatures you control get +1 and have trample. All right. So this is. I don't know. Oh. Yeah, I like it. In a green-red deck, golden. Because you got a lot of non-humans in green-red. Well, there's some humans in red, but green has a lot. Rankle, Master of Pranks. It's a black legendary fairy rogue. 2 black and a black, a mythic rare for a 3/3 flying haste. I like it. Right there, flying haste, 4 mana, 3/3. In. Whenever Rankle, the Master of Pranks, deals combat damage to a player, you choose any number. Keeping in mind, 0 counts as any number. Each player discards a card. If you have no cards in hand, might also make your opponent discard. Although on turn 4, you probably still have cards. Or turn 5 when you get to attack. Oh, he's haste, turn 4. Each player loses 1 life and draws a card. Each player sacrifices a creature. I like this card. Is awesome. I mean, it's only a 3/3. It's going to get removed. But it gives you lots of utility. Every time it does combat damage, you can choose to do something if you want. It's a flying haste 3/3 for 4. I like it. In a black aggressive deck, fairy blue black deck maybe. blue, black, red. What's that? Asban? No, not Asban. That's black, white, green. That's what I'm going to be doing. I never remember the names. Sue me. Black, red, blue. Or black, blue, fairies. All sorts of things you can do. Because there's also, yeah. Anyways. I digress. Cool card. Holy crap, 12 more packs to go. I hope you guys are still awake. I'm going to power through here. I think I'm just going to try to go to the end. I could probably use another break, but I'm just going to power through. More wild cards. Jesting Dummy, Tree Folk. Queen of Ice. There she is again. Oh, no, that's not the one. It's the other one, the Knight. It is the blue Knight that matters. Worries about... Ooh. Cauldron Familiar Cat. I like animal cards. Cat. Black. 1/1. So 1 black mana for a 1/1 cat. Cauldron Familiar enters the battlefield. Each opponent loses 1 life. You gain 1 life. Okay. I mean, that's decent. Turn 1. Boom. Sets the speed. Sacrifice a food, which we have lots of incidentally, apparently. Return Cauldron Familiar from your graveyard to the battlefield, which then triggers the life gain again. I like it. I mean, it's simple, but for as far as 1 mana 1/1 goes, this is a good one. For especially in black, where graveyard matters, and you're going to get food tokens. Black, I can see it in like a black-green. Green seems to have a lot of food generation. Goes with the combat spear deal that we just saw. The giant spear or ogre spear, whatever it was. There's the enchanted carriage again. I got 2. Yay! I just love that. Okay, never mind. It's adorable. And we saw Wish Claw Talisman. That's that weird. I probably won't play with it. I may try something, but eh. Here comes another uncommon. Boom. There's that Mystic Sanctuary again. Yep. Witch's Cottage. Yep. Lockman Paladin. Insatiable. Slippers. I don't think we've seen Revenge of Ravens yet. 4 mana, 3 and a black. Enchantment. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, that creature's controller loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. This is interesting. I'm thinking White Weenie. Now, they do get buffs, so eventually they are going to do damage, so you don't want to live on this. And it's turn 4, so you've already taken a fair bit of damage by then against aggro decks, but if they're attacking you with small creatures, it's almost useless. I like it. I think there's going to be a deck for it. Maybe even the Black-White Knights, just as a... I have the mana for it. We'll see. Clockwork Servant we haven't seen either. 3 mana, 2/3. That's okay. It's a gnome. Don't see a lot of gnomes. He's kind of adorable. Clockwork Gnome. Adamant. When Clockwork Servant enters the battlefield, if at least 3 mana of the same color were spent, draw a card. 3 mana draw card's not bad. You put this in a blue deck. I can see this being a body and a draw card. That's not terrible. It's not terrible at all. There's probably better options. There's some 2 mana draw 2 cards. Or 2 mana draw cards. I could see it seeing play. I don't know how good it is. Ooh. I see red blue and I go ooh because I still have that. That's a deck I just loved. Anyways, let's see. Royal Scions, legendary planeswalker Will Rowan. Oh, so it's 2 people, but you only get 1 name. You see that? It's Royal Scions. There's 2 people on the card, but it's only 1 name. Okay. I'm assuming they're important people to the story, would be my guess. They're new planeswalkers. I haven't seen them before. Maybe they each have their own card as well. Like he has the blue, she has the red type of deal. That'd be kind of cool. I'd like to see that. So 3 mana, 1 blue, red, 5 loyalty planeswalker. +1 draw a card, then discard a card. That's not bad. +1, another +1 to target creature gains +2 and gains first strike and trampled in a turn. Wow. Again, this is a pretty straightforward card. And then -8, draw 4 cards. When you do, the Royal Scion deals damage to target equal to the number of cards in your hand. At 3 mana, I don't see why you wouldn't want to try to fit this into a Spells Matter deck. You get to draw cards. You can give what creatures you do have. Various wizards. There's some flying, hasty wizards that could use Trample and First Strike. This is awesome. It's like... This is red-blue. This is very a red/blue thing. Well, more red than blue here. So blue, red. And then blue-red. I like it. I like that card. That's going in. I think it's going to go in. That's one of my 36 cards accounted for. Some stuff here we haven't seen. Have we seen Emberhearth Paladin? 4 mana, 4/1 haste. Yeah, we've seen this one. Cauldron's Gift we saw. Falmer Knight I don't think we've seen. 1 mana, 1/1 Death Touch. It's okay. That's a chump blocker. You can use it to kill pretty much anything. Not bad card. What is the adventure? 3 mana, instant adventure, draw a card, you lose a life. Yeah. Yeah, that'll see play. I don't know how much play, but I'll see some play. Aha! See, this is the one I've been waiting for. I need these. Not the other one. This is the one I thought it was. 2 mana, or 4 mana, 2 green green for a 3/3 wolf token. Or wolf creature, wow brain. Being distracted, Echo entered the room. Now I'm all distracted. When Wicked Wolf enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Which is an effect we're trying to do anyways, which is great. And it's likely to come in, first off, it's likely to come in as a 4/4, 5/5 in our deck. Sacrifice a food token, which we've been creating. Put a +1/+1 counter on Wicked Wolf. It gains indestructible until end of turn and tap it. So, you summon it, you sacrifice a food, it becomes 4/4, maybe a 5/5, indestructible that fights another creature. Unfortunately, you can't attack with it, but you can't attack with that turn anyways, so it might as well come into play tapped. You can't block with it, I guess, is the big loss, but that's a really good extra removal for our green deck that uses creatures as removal. And I need 4. Probably 4, maybe 3, I can't remember. Alright, pack number 9, let's do this. Run away together, we saw. Return to nature. I still think that's excellent that they're tweaking these. Feast, Festive Funeral, 7 dwarves. 1 in a red. 2/2 dwarf creature. Okay. So it's a bear, it's a dwarf. Typically dwarves have been reds, bears. 7 dwarves gets +1/+1 for each other creature named 7 dwarves you control. Okay. So like a turn 3 dwarf. If you curve out, you get dwarf, dwarf, dwarf. That works because each one gets progressively bigger, which means that they're better. My deck can have up to 7 cards named 7 dwarves. I like it. It's going to be a meme deck. I don't see it being a super... Although, in a red aggressive deck, depending on what else we have in the 2-cost slots, 7 of these means you're really likely to get one to play on turn 2 and turn 3 and maybe turn 4, right? It's entirely possible that this could be a good one. Because not only does the new one get bigger, the previous one does. I like this. This is interesting. It's probably not good, but I'm gonna play with it. I'm gonna give it a try. And it's common, so once you get 4, you can have 7. So that'll be easy enough. Yep. Oh, dense. Oh crap! I double clicked. Okay, what was that called? We're gonna have to do that this way. It was dance something, right? Not dance. It was blue. It was... We just want to see collected, and we want to see Throne of Eldraine. It's in here somewhere. I will find it. Bring it back when I found it. Here it is. Never mind. Not even going to cut. Dance of the Manse. The house is dancing. Oh, that's clever. X, white, blue, sorcery. Return it to X target artifacts or non-aura enchantment cards, each with converted mana cost X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. If X is 6 or more, those permanents are 4/4 creatures. There's a lot going on in that card. 8. This is like a control deck finisher using... But is there enough enchantments and artifacts? Well, there's enough artifacts to make it. So that's going to return pretty much any artifacts. Yeah, I like this. This could show some interest. Maybe it goes into my Magic Mirror deck that I am being forced to play. I like the flavor of the card, that it's the furniture animating and becoming 4/4 creatures. If you have enough of them at 8 mana, that could be a game finisher. Yeah. If it was instant, it'd be overpowered. Because that's 6 artifacts or enchantments of casting cost 6 or less, all of which become 4. That's awesome. Gimmicky. Maybe it's not as powerful as it sounds, but it definitely sounds fun to play. Deck number 8. Or pack number 8. And there's another rare. Okay, I think we're going to have no problem building our wolf deck now, and then we can start working towards our knights, I think. We've seen all these. Grenber, Squire, Secret Keeper, Tactician, Witches. Did we see the commander? Yes, we did. That's the cool kind of Death Touch Knight I liked a little bit. Spinning Wheel. Oh, of course, Spinning Wheel. Can't have a fairy tale theme without a spinning wheel. I'm already liking it. 3 mana, tap to add 1 mana of any color. Cool. It's a little bit expensive, but it's mana fixing. That's important. Can be important. 5 and tap to tap target creature. Puts them to sleep. It would be interesting if it was either cheaper But late game, that could be useful. Or had an effect where there was some way they could wake it up. Like, just for the flavor, but it's decent. I can see this seeing play in, for example, a deck that wants to play Dance of the Manse. Here's a 4/4 creature at the end of the game that does a bunch of other magic stuff. Another Wicked Wolf. Ice. We are getting there, my friends. I think we're going to have a most of it by the end of this, including a lot of the rare lands with our rares that we've been... Rare wildcards. Outflank. Outflank is a white. For 1 white mana instant, Outflank deals damage to target creature or blocking creature, so attacking or blocking creature, equal to the number of creatures you control. So it's a little situational. They have to be attacking or blocking. However, for 1 mana in a white weenie deck, when you have tokens coming out the wazoo, you're going to kill whatever it is. So I probably main deck, maybe sideboard, depending on how rampant things like a major control are, because if it's a control deck, you're going to attack through, they might kill one of your creatures with their 1 blocker or something. So it's interesting. Probably sideboard, maybe main deck in a white weenie deck. I like it. The flavor's good too. It's like a bunch of swarming little creatures, right? We've seen Locked-Wing Gargoyle. I think we saw, yes, way early. Blow Your House Down, we definitely saw. Fierce Wilds. Slaying Fire, we've seen. Stolen by the Fae, we've seen. Okay, we're getting towards the end. Whew. And then we got some crafting to do. When I do my Knights deck, I'll probably do it live. Or not live, but record it, just like I did with the Wolves deck earlier. Charm Sleep, Festive Funeral, Squire, Prized Griffin, Lonesome Unicorn. Into the Story, 7 mana. Did we see this one already? Yes, we saw this. So at some point it becomes a 2 mana draw 4, which is amazing. I don't think we saw this. I don't remember seeing this. We must have. It rings a bell. This spell costs 3 less to cast. Oh no, I guess it becomes a 4 mana draw 4. This spell costs 3 less to cast if one has 7 more cards in the graveyard. So again, in a blue deck, there's lots of incidental milling. Doesn't take long to get it down to a 4 cost draw 4, which is pretty good. I mean, pretty good. I might put probably put one of in my blue red if it fits. There's that Fireborn Knight again that reminds me of something. No, that's not the one. Oh. Bone Crusher Giant. Do we see this giant? I don't know. It's another giant. Let's look at it. I don't think we have. So this is again that mild giant matters theme. 3 mana 4/3 is good. I like that. I mean, it's only a 3 but it's a 4/3 that's red. Whenever Bone Crusher Giant becomes the target of a spell, Bone Crusher Giant deals 2 damage to that spell's controller. So if they do go to remove it, at least you get 2 damage. Okay. For 2 mana, the Adventurer, you get Stomp. 1 in a red, damage can't be prevented this turn. Stomp deals 2 damage to any target. Okay. So you get a 2 mana, 2 damage. It's not great, but it's tied to a pretty decent giant. So you put it in for that if you do have a situation you need to stomp, great. If not, you can crush a turn 1 play if you're on the play. And they drop Gilded Goose on turn 1. You can stomp it, and then a couple turns, next turn, summon your big giant. I like it. I like it. There's some good stuff in here. I'm pretty excited to see where this standard goes. I don't know how much it's going to change. Ooh, there's something that looks cool. I haven't even read it yet. But we've seen Memory Theft. I still can't remember what... It's going to bug me. I'm going to have to look it up at some point. Roving Keep. 7 mana artifact. For a 5/7 defender. Okay. I mean, control deck 7 mana is pretty steep, but they get there. 7's a good butt for blocking if all you need is a wall. For 7 mana more, Roving Keep gets +2 and gains trample until the turn and can attack this turn as though it didn't have defender. Okay. Not a great card. I'd put it in maybe as like a curve topper in a limited deck if I didn't have something better. But 7 mana to activate it so it can actually do something is a little rough. I love the picture, like the mouth. Oh, I'm going to kill you. And all the little feet things here. I mean, it's cool art. I wouldn't want to live in this keep. You would just, oh, what? Earthquake? No, we're just attacking something. Alright, anyways. Another uncommon, that's good. And Outlaw Merriment. Outlaw's Merriment. Robin Hood, anyone? So, enchantment. 1 red, white, legendary, or mythic rare enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose 1 at random. So you gotta roll a die, I guess, or flip a coin. I guess there's 3, so you gotta roll a die. Create a red... choose 1 at random. Create a red and white creature token with those characteristics. Either a 3/1 human warrior with trample and haste. Ooh, very red, I like it. I love those. That's what I was talking about, the 3/1 hasties. 2/1 human cleric with lifelink and haste. Or a 1/2 human rogue with haste, and when this creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to any target. Oh, that is awesome. I'm not sure if it's as good as I believe it is. I love it. It makes me want to play Boros aggro. Maybe in a feather deck. No, I don't think there's room for it there, but it's like a super aggressive deck. At turn 4, it doesn't do anything. So it's not till turn 5 unless you can cheat it out somehow. But it creates a creature every turn. And it creates a decent, like a 3/1 trample, you just create and swing and see what happens, right? All of these, you just create it and swing, and you get either trample and haste, or you gain life, or you deal 1 damage. Alright, cool, I like that card. That's interesting. Something to keep an eye on. Barge in. It's an ogre or a giant or something. For 1 red, you get an instant. Target attacking creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Each attacking non-human creature gains trample until end of turn. Alright. Definitely unlimited. I don't see much use for that in... There's no really room for it in Constructed, I don't think. Except unless you're building a very specific deck. That probably won't be very good. But limited for sure. Baked into a pie. I've seen this one. Love the flavor. 4 mana, 2 black. Destroy target creature. So it's a little costly for a black destroy target creature, but you also get to create a food token, which you need to use to gain 3 life, or again, use it for somewhere else where food is used. So I think it's good. I think it'll see play. I think Murder's 3 mana destroy target creature, though. So unless you have a use for the food, or you may gain value from the gain life. Though in black, there are things where you can sacrifice it to deal 3 damage as well, which is good. So it may be worth putting it in as a fifth and or sixth copy of Murder or something, unless Murder rotated, in which case probably put it in. Again, we'll have to see what else is left. We saw that. Lash of Thorns we've seen. Overwhelmed Apprentice. I like the art. She's like, oh, I'm so confused. Look at all these books flying around me. 1 mana, 1/2. When Overwhelmed Apprentice enters the battlefield, each opponent puts the top 2 cards of the library in their graveyard, then you scry 2. Okay. So it's a scry effect. Pay 1 to scry 2. Still not opt, which is instant speed, and draw. But it is a scry effect, and scry effects are valuable. So I can see this seeing play as a scry effect to get better value. Here's the knight that goes with my mirror. And another rare wild card. Alright. We'll take it. We're getting close. We're actually going to get another one before we're through here. And let's see. So a common wild card. Bartered cow. It's glowing. But why does it say ox and not cow? Oh, well, I guess it's a female ox. It can be a cow, right? Is that how it works? I think that's how it works. 4 mana, 3/3. You know, Hill Giant level, I think. When Barter Cow dies, or when you discard it, create a food token. Alright, so definitely in a limited environment, this will be alright, because you get some extra value out of it. If you have a food theme in white, with white in there, that might work as well. But otherwise, it's not that great. It's not that great. Merfolk Secret Keeper. Yeah, we've seen that. What's this? Spectre Shriek. 1 black sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You may choose an all-night card from it. If you do, that player exiles that card. If a non-black card is exiled this way, exile a card from your hand. Okay. Okay, so this is okay. It's better against black, so it's kind of like a self-hate deck. Maybe a sideboard option to add extra ones against a black deck. I mean, the decks it's good against, it's really good against, because that's like your blue-black hate decks as well. So, have we seen Rally for the Throne? Let's see. 3 mana, create 2. Oh yes, yeah, we saw this. So they create 2 whites, and then you gain 1 life for each creature if you adamant. Still prefer if this was create 2, and if you adamant, create 4. I think that'd be better. I don't know if that's common power level. That might be overpowered at 3 mana, but it'd be really good in a white weenie deck, and I think that's the reason it didn't go that way. Gaining life is okay. There's another Rankle. That's good. We're getting into something there. Can I have this? Forever Young we've seen. Tactician, Ice, Mantle Tides, and the common green foresty deal. Yeah, okay. This we haven't seen. Grum Gully the Generous. It's a green and red. For some reason I can't remember what that's called. And I know it, because we just played it. It's in Ravnica. Red-green, or 1 a red and a green, for a legendary creature Goblin Shaman, or Shaman. Each other non-human creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. So it's not quite as good as Rampaging Wilds. For the same mana cost, I want to say. It might be 4 for Rampaging. However, combined, it could be like your 5th and 6th copies of it. It's a creature, so it can attack. Yeah. I could probably see that maybe seeing some play in some really good aggro decks. And Return of the Wild Speaker we've seen. So we're at the last one here, but there is a code, as soon as I find it, that'll give us 3 more packs. So stand by. We're going to do this, and then we're going to do the other 3 packs, and then we're going to call it a day. I just got to do it. Treefolk, yep. Yep. Deafening Silence. 1 white enchantment. Each player can't cast more than 1 non-creature spell each turn. Oh. Yeah. Interesting. Definitely goes into a white weenie scenario where you're mostly playing creatures. And then it stops your opponents from, say, like a Spells Matter deck where they're trying to cast multiple spells a turn. Kind of parks Izzet Phoenix, if Izzet Phoenix is still going to be a thing. Or, not Izzet Phoenix, but, you know, Rekindling Phoenix. Kind of parks that. Interesting. Okay. Giant Opportunity. 3 mana. You may sacrifice 2 foods. If you do, create a 7/7 green giant. Ho ho ho, green giant. Creature token. Otherwise, create 3 food tokens. Oh, cool. So it's either beans or a beanstalk. Love it. Look at those curly bananas. What the hell? That's potentially... Now, it's not easy. I mean, you could... If you got turn 1 and 2 Gilded Goose into turn 3 this, you could have a 7/7 giant on turn 3 plus mana. No. You'd have to hit all your land drops too. Potentially something there, though. Didn't get any Gilded Geese, which we do need. They are rare, I think. This potential turn 3 7/7 green giant creature is insane. In the right deck, that could be nuts. However, you got to generate 2 food tokens in your first 2 turns to get it. However, if you end up with 2 in your deck, you could do a turn 4 7/7, and that's just stupid too. Ah, what? What was that called? Was that Once Upon a Time? Once, yeah. Hang on. I didn't double click there. It just went away. Oh, because I didn't click on it, maybe? No, not that. And Once Upon a Time. Yeah. I think we have these in our deck, too. This is one of the other rares we need to get. So we got 1. That's good. Once Upon a Time. 1 in a green instant. If this spell is the first spell you've cast this game, you may cast without spending playing its mana cost. With the top 5 cards of your library, you may reveal a creature card or land. A creature or land card from among them, put them in your hand, put the rest in the bottom in the order. So, in your opening hand, you get to pick the best of your next 5 draws to be your... and put it in your hand. It's not even your next draw. So you get to choose the best of your 5 cards. That's pretty good. I could see this being a value. As a 2-drop, we might be doing something better on turn 2, but if we're not, it allows us to dig for something to do on turn 3. So I do like this card, and yeah, I can see why it's a 4 of. I can see this being people trying to wedge this into every deck they can. Okay, stand by. Let me get the code, and we will open 3 more packs, and then we're going to call this a day, and I'm going to start thinking about building some decks. All right, so we're just going to go in here, play Eldraine, I think is how it's spelled. Yay! All right. And now we open those 2 as part of this. Just going to do it. That's 53 packs. That's got to get us a good start. I'm still sitting on my gems. I'm trying to decide if I want to do some drafting, but I don't think I have time to turn. Okay, so everything here we've seen. Oathsworn Knight we haven't seen. Yay, new card. So it's an Oathsworn Knight black. 1 black for a human knight, 0/0. At rare. Oathsworn Knight enters the battlefield with 4+1/+1 counters on it. So, it is a 4/4 human knight for 3 mana. That's good. Oathsworn Knight attacks each combat if able. If damage would be dealt to Oathsworn Knight while it has +1/+1 counters on it, prevent the damage and remove a +1/+1 counter. So as it's getting buffs, once there's no tokens on it, it acts like a normal creature, but there's ways to put tokens on it. You have that armory artifact. You can keep putting tokens on it as well. So that's a good card. I like that. That's probably going to end up in my Knight's deck. Probably. I think that's a pretty good card. I just like the way it works. It does interesting things. 3 mana, 1/2 double strike. I pass. I mean, double strike is okay, but maybe unlimited. Everything else we've seen. There's another one of those carriages. We're up to 3. Murderous Rider. Did we see this? It's a zombie knight. 1 black and a black. Lifelink. When Murderous Rider dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library. So you can't recur it, which is a problem, because black has a pretty good recur theme. I don't know if we're going to see much of it in the Knights, but yes. So putting it on the bottom of the library kind of sucks, except that you can also go get it. So for a 2/3 Knight for 3, that's not bad with lifelink. The Adventure, Swift End. 1 black, black. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. You lose 2 life. I like it. Excuse me. I'd put it in just for that spell, because it kills planeswalkers. You need to kill planeswalkers. They're a pain in the ass. Just don't kill my Garrick. Thanks. Yeah, I'd put it in for that, into the Knights deck, and then this would just be extra. Yeah, you can't recur it, but it's a 2/3 lifelink. Sure. I'm in. Last pack, guys. Thank you for sticking with me, those of you that did. Even if you skipped ahead and just kind of saw what I got, I'm okay with that. But I wanted to do this because it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed looking at new cards. Lost Legion. I don't think we've seen that. It's a black card. It's a 1 black and a black for a 2/3 Spirit Knight. Knights deck, anyone? So 3/3 for a 2/3 is not great, but it's a Knight, so there's some we'll give it some room. When Lost Legion enters the battlefield, scry 2. Definitely a limited. If you got a Knights theme going on, that'd be a later grab, for sure. I don't know how much room there'd be for it in a proper constructed deck, but another Witch's Cottage. I think we're up to like 3 or 4 of those now. Crystal Slippers, Fristy Wild, another uncommon. Cauldron of Eternity. 10 black, black. This thing's going to do something nuts. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each creature card in your graveyard. In black, that's not hard to do. Lots of creatures go into the graveyard, except for the last night we saw. Or the other night we saw. When a creature you control dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library. Oh. So you kind of already... Yeah, okay, so once it's cast, they don't go into the graveyard anymore. Okay. Weird. It's kind of... Okay. 3 and tap, pay 2 life. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Interesting. I can see this being something good. You know, pile a bunch of crap into your graveyard early on, cast this, and just start pulling them out. Pull out the biggest things. Oh, I need this big giant something. Interesting. This would be a build around for sure. But I could see it seeing play. That's an interesting card. I like it. All right. So we opened all our packs. That's good. I think we got a little bit of everything we need. I don't think we quite got there. We didn't get any Gilded Goose, which we do definitely need for our deck, which is down here somewhere. There it is. But yeah, I think I'm going to build the deck based on what I saw Merchant do. I'll try to remember to put a link to his video down below if you want to go see what I'm talking about, if you haven't seen it already. If you're watching me, you probably should be watching him because he's good. He's better than I am. That's one of the guys I watch, so definitely check him out to see what this deck is. I'm going to build it, and we'll be back to play it. I'm also going to look into seeing what we need to do for a Knights deck. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Those of you that stuck with me, really appreciate it. That was a long video, but I enjoyed doing it. As always, take care of each other, and we'll see y'all next time. I'm out of here.